we're number one. Finally, we're number one of the health categories. We're the number one obese nation in the world. Not a good number one, but we're number one. Of course, the theory on obesity is one of the failed medical theories. There's thousands of failed medical theories every century, going back 5,000 years ago, and the 20th century, 21st century, no different. And one of the most terrible ones, of course, is the obesity one. The theory is that people are overweight and obese because they eat too much and don't exercise enough. And that is 100% not true. People are overweight and obese because they're deficient in one or more nutrients out of a certain category of nutrients. And any one of them in deficiency will cause people to gain weight and become obese. There's three of them. If you're deficient in any one of those, you are going to be the 400-pound, 600-pound, 800-pound person because it's going to drive you to eat anything and everything within arm's reach. Okay? That's the symptoms of these nutritional deficiencies, is to drive you to eat more. Okay? So it's not a lack of exercise or eating too much. We're number one because we're nutrient deficient. These nutrients that prevent and reverse obesity are no longer found in our food. I want people to get a hold of the books, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, the book Hell's Kitchen. The subtitle is The Cause, Prevention, and Cure of Obesity. It also discusses type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. When you buy the book Hell's Kitchen from your young giving associate, ask for a free CD by the same title, Hell's Kitchen. And then the third book is Energy Crisis. It goes into the ketogenic diet and how the ketogenic diet can really assist you maintain the weight loss you've achieved, and also to help you lose weight quicker and more appropriately lose fat weight as opposed to muscle weight. And to help you with that, we have two things. The ketogenic diet, which is the keto caramel shake, the meal replacer, and we also have a meal bar replacer. And I like to have just for lunch the keto caramel bar, 251 calories, and it drives you to burn fat. Okay, then REV, R-E-V, okay, it sort of takes the place of ASAP. It's the next generation of ASAP, which is really, really very good, but this is like the next generation. It's really stepping up here. And, of course, it has added to it all of these nutrients necessary to maximize your genetic potential for proper weight loss and maintenance of proper weight. Okay? All these nutrients are in there, the things you're deficient in, and that's why it works so well. REV is a dropper. Put a dropper full on your tongue 30 minutes before each meal. And leave it absorb to your oral tissues. You will need to lose more than 50 pounds, so you get 2 bottles of REV per month, and put a dropper full on your tongue 30 minutes before each meal, 15 minutes before each meal. Let it absorb to your oral tissues. Don't forget your 90 essential nutrients. You can get that through the Healthy Weight Loss Pack. It's 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. And then, of course, the keto caramel shake and meal replacer bars. So, again, this is something that we should not be on a cover story of Time magazine. America is epidemic of obesity. This is an epidemic, but it's an epidemic because we're missing the nutrients that are required to prevent and reverse obesity. Again, it's not due to, and this is a big story, big studies by the medical school in Chicago, okay, the 10-year study on exercise and how it will not make you lose weight unless you get on a 500 calorie a day diet along with the exercise. And then when you get back up to 1,000 calories, which is about a third of what most Americans eat, you're going to gain your weight back because it's not due to exercise and cutting calories. It's the lack of cutting calories, the lack of exercise that makes you gain weight. It's these nutritional deficiencies. If you don't deal with the nutritional deficiency piece, you will regain all the weight you've lost with all your sacrifices and struggles. Now, you're going to save a lot of money by giving up all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, wheat, barley, and oats. And it's going to speed up your weight loss program. It's not unusual to lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. We get people who are 400 to 500 pounds, and in 7 months' time, they'll go from 400, 500, 600 pounds. They'll go down to 165 pounds. As long as you stay on the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for body weight, you'll never gain the weight back. We have people who 5 years later are still 165 pounds, but they stayed on the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for body weight and stayed away from the bad foods. And they did it while they were sitting on the couch. And that's what they bragged about. We just sat on the couch and watched TV, didn't exercise for 30 seconds. Okay? Now, America should be the most fit country in the world. Yet, we are in trouble. We rank 43rd when it comes to longevity. There's 42 other countries whose peoples live longer than we do. And this is an absolute crime because we spend more money for health care than all the other 204 nations listed in the United Nations. We spend more money than all of them every year, annually, for health care. And what do we get? The only thing we're number one in health is, we're obese. And we rank 43rd when it comes to longevity. There's not a good statistic. And our children will be the first generation of Americans that do not live as long as their parents. Most Americans will be standing gravesite burying their kids, unless you supplement yourself and supplement them. Okay? That's because these nutrients are no longer found in your food. And here's where you, again, need to read the books Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, the book Hell's Kitchen, the cause, prevention, and cure of obesity, and it also discusses type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. And don't forget Energy Crisis. You will really understand the ketogenic diet and why the ketogenic diet, our keto caramel shake and bars, and our Rev, R-E-V, you will lose weight and keep it off. You cannot go wrong. You cannot fail. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay. So at any rate, Doug, what's your pearls of wisdom today?
Well, I saw this one, and my first thought was, oh, my God, how many kids is this guy going to mess up? And who I'm referring to is Dr. Manny Alvarez. He is Fox News' health expert. He's also on a couple of boards and things. And I just could not believe that this was coming out of the mouth of a supposedly trained healthcare professional. And it's headlined, "Does your kid need a multivitamin?" They say many young kids are picky eaters, but that doesn't mean that they aren't getting the nutrients they need to grow. According to Dr. Manny, he goes, "I recently received this email from a concerned mom. Dear Dr. Manny, my 5-year-old son is a picky eater, and I'm worried he isn't getting enough vitamins. Should he be taking a multivitamin?" And he goes on to say, many common kid-friendly foods like breakfast cereal, milk, orange juice are fortified with important nutrients such as vitamin D and calcium. And since your children don't need large amounts of vitamins and minerals, your child may already be getting a sufficient amount. But it's still a good idea to talk to your child's pediatrician if you have concerns. A multivitamin might be appropriate for your child if he or she has an eating disorder, has been diagnosed with failure to thrive, doesn't eat regular or well-balanced meals, doesn't get enough vitamin D through diet or sun exposure, has certain chronic diseases or food allergies, has a restrictive diet such as vegan or vegetarian. Keep in mind that certain vitamins and minerals can interact with medications that your child may be taking, and that mega doses of these supplements can be toxic. I have to just wonder, how many kids is this guy going to mess up with this crappy advice?
Well, I actually had a personal run-in with Dr. Manny Alvarez in the Fox studios in 1978. And the story was swirling around about my discovery of the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a monkey at the Yerkes Primate Center in Atlanta, Georgia, Emory University, and also that I knew the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis. I could even get rid of the genetic markers because one thing deficiency causes the genetic marker, a second deficiency causes all the tissue damage. Okay, and we had 8 minutes for that segment, and Dr. Alvarez went first, and he took 7 minutes and 50 seconds. I had like 10 seconds left, and so. When I'm looking at the clock here, they're all kind of shifting around, wondering what I'm going to say in 10 seconds. And so I just stood up, put my finger in his nose, and said, "Liar, liar, pants on fire." And that was my introduction to Dr. Manny Alvarez back in 1978. And of course, he's still passing on the same misinformation. Everybody needs 90 essential nutrients. He was talking about enriched cereals. It might have 3 vitamins and 3 minerals. Okay, that's 6. Where are you going to get the other 54? Certainly not in the food. And so, again, with a story from the government and the medical profession, which says our children will be the first generation of Americans that do not live as long as their parents, we have a basic problem here. And the problem is they're not getting the basic nutrients they need to maintain, repair themselves, refurbish themselves, because everybody knows their rug is full of skin cells. Your skin you lose as your skin replaces itself every week. Your red blood cells replace themselves every 120 days, and so on. Everything dies. All cells die, and they need replacement. Well, you need raw materials to do that. And, eating breakfast cereals with apple juice is not going to cut it. And so thank you for bringing that one up. And supplement, give all 90 essential nutrients to your kids, and we will break that terrible, terrible prediction, and our kids will live longer than us if we supplement. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to Michigan. And Bill, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Bill, you're on the air.
Hi, Doug. Thanks for taking my call. I have been diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis 5 years ago. And typically, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I heard you. You had pulmonary fibrosis diagnosed 5 years ago. Do you have any other history of issues, anything like asthma or eczema as a kid?
Asthma, I've told that poultry is one cause of fibrosis. And I did have chickens, and I wanted to kill chickens when I was a kid. I lived on a farm, and a lot of different chemicals.
Okay, but you do not have cystic fibrosis. You still have pulmonary fibrosis, but you don't have cystic fibrosis. Is that correct?
No, it's fibrosis.
No cystic fibrosis. Okay. All right. And how much do you weigh, sir?
About 200.
200. How tall are you? I didn't get that.
6 foot tall.
Okay, 6 foot. Okay. No other issues? No high blood pressure? No diabetes?
No. Recently, I've been diagnosed with AFib, and they're giving me metoprolol for that, a small dose of metoprolol. It seems to be under control. So other than that, I don't have...
Okay, do you have arthritis? Wait a minute. Do you have a history of arthritis or back problems?
Yeah, back problems, arthritis. I had a knee replacement. I blew up my knee when I was 16. So.
Okay. All right, here we go. Shar, this is a Shar thing. This guy's got lots of stuff going on. AFib, back problems, his knee replacements. He's got pulmonary fibrosis for 5 years. What would you say is going on here?
He's got a gluten intolerance for sure.
Yep. And malabsorbing nutrients. Okay, so what would you give this guy?
I would give him 2 healthy brain and heart packs, but I'd also add the glucogel for the AFib.
Okay, well, wait a minute. AFib's a heart problem, isn't it?
No, it's a mechanical problem.
It's a back problem, yeah. Okay, so 2 healthy brain and heart packs, a full dose of thing twice a day, 2 large bottles of glucogel, so you can take 15 a day, 5, 5, and 5, and wouldn't hurt to throw in for AFib, just because the heart's working hard, throw in something like CardioFX. And don't forget the diet. No fried food and processed meats or oils. Call us every couple of weeks, Bill. We'll walk you through this. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Seattle, Washington. And Jen, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Jen, you're on the air.
Dr. Wallach.
Hi. How can I help you?
I am calling because I've been reading your epigenetics book, and I got to the pages about macular degeneration. And I have a favorite uncle who is nearly blind at this point. He had early onset in his mid-50s. He has macular degeneration wet in one eye and dry in the other. They've been doing the Eileen shots on the wet eye for almost 10 years now. He's paid an absolute fortune to continue that process, and now that eye is essentially blind. He is losing vision quickly in the dry eye as well. And as I was reading your book, I became very interested in your research and the work that you had done on it, and was hoping to get some ideas of protocols and things.
This is your uncle? This is your uncle?
Yes.
Okay. And how old is he?
He is 63.
Okay, and how much does he weigh?
He weighs 170 pounds.
Okay, and how tall is he, do you know?
He's 5'10".
Okay. Now, does he have any other issues? High blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis,
No.
any dementia,
No.
skin problems, respiratory problems?
No. He's very healthy.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Okay. He has some health challenges here, right?
Right.
So we can't use the word very healthy. Okay. So, Charmaine.
Yes.
You've seen a lot of macular degeneration.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do for Jen's favorite uncle here?
Okay, he needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs, and he needs Occutive, and he could add the Vision FX also.
Okay.
And he needs to get, no burnt animal fat, no oil of any kind, get on a gluten-free diet, the same old.
No
same.
fried foods,
Right.
right? No processed meats.
Right.
And what would you do to encourage stem cells to do the work? What would you throw in there?
I would give him the Immortalium.
Perfect. You get an A+. Very good. So Char's exactly right, Jen. Your uncle who weighs 170 pounds should have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. Full dose thing twice a day. The Occutive, I'd have him take 2 of those a day, 1 at breakfast, 1 at dinner time. I'll require 2 bottles a month because they're small bottles. I'd also have him take the Vision FX, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. And then the Immortalium, which encourages stem cells to repair everything. Okay? There would be 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month of the Immortalium. And they're going to support promote stem cell activity and encourage the eyes to make more stem cells. And it's imperative, as Char said, you got to have him stay away from all the all of the things that are producing free radicals. This is the damage to the retina of the eye, the free radical damage, because all the drugs he was getting, and very expensive drugs, probably broke him financially, did not give him 1 bit of nutrition. And Charmaine, what CD should she get for her uncle to listen to?
Seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing. It tells the story of macular degeneration and how we can reverse them, even if they've been blind 6, 8, 10 years. It's amazing. Okay? And we'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Chicago, Illinois. And Tom, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Tom, you're on the air.
Yes, hi, Dr. Wallach. How are you?
Fine, sir. Thank you. How can we help you?
Good. Okay. Dr. Wallach, I've been using my brain and healthy heart pack for about 5 months now. After about the 3rd month or 4th month, the tachycardia and the high blood pressure seem to be diminishing. And I've talked to you about this. I felt much better. Now, I noticed last week and last night, it tried to sneak up on me again. I try to keep a close eye on the gluten and to the best of my ability.
Okay, well, let me ask you a couple of questions here, Tom. Let me ask you a couple of questions. How much do you weigh?
190.
Okay, and how tall are you, sir?
5'9".
Okay. And do you have any other issues, arthritis, back problems? Hello?
We talked about this before, Dr.
I know, but I need the audience to hear your answer.
Nothing hurts me, no.
Okay, have you had a history of back problems?
No.
Okay. Do you ever go to a chiropractor?
No, that was one of my questions. I was going to ask you, should I?
Okay. Well, there's no nutrition in a chiropractic examination or a chiropractic adjustment. Okay. Now, have you shrunk any in height since you were 20 years old?
No.
Okay, good. Have you ever had any asthma or skin problems, eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or asthma as a kid?
No. But with the tachycardia, I told you once before, Dr. Wallach, when I lean or move a certain way, that sets it off. So we know there's a problem with the back somewhere.
That's right. That's right. It is a problem with the back. Okay. So, Charmaine, Tom has told us he's taken 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. What would you do for him to really get him the maximum benefit from a nutritional program? What kind of diet would you put him on, and what would you add to the 2 healthy brain and heart packs?
Well, he needs to be on a gluten-free diet, no burnt animal fat, no fried foods, no oils, none of that. And he could take and add to his regimen the glucogel for the back problem.
Yeah, at 190 pounds, they get 2 large bottles a month. You could take 15 of those a day, 5 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What else would you throw in to help the stem cells support maintenance repair of the disc between the vertebrae?
The immortalium.
There you go. I go ahead and add that, Tom, to your protocol. You go ahead and add, say, 2 or 3 of those twice a day, be 2 bottles a month of the immortalium. The whole idea is when you have tachycardia, which would also be called atrial fibrillation by some doctors, particularly if they want to do a heart transplant or ablations or retroversions or install pacemakers and that kind of stuff and make a fortune. It's really a back problem, as you know, and it's a positional thing. Bend over, lay down, twist one way or another, lift something up or get on your toes to get something off the top shelf. It sets it off. Well, that's because the nerves coming up from between T1, 2, 3, and 4, the first 4 thoracic vertebrae, are getting pinched. Okay, and you can have bone spurs, degenerative disc disease, any of those kind of things can be involved here. And so the immortalium, I go ahead and take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. That's to support maintenance repair of the disc between the vertebrae and also your skeletal system, musculoskeletal system. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. And then, of course, also the 15 glucogel, 5, 5, and 5. That's 2 bottles a month. And it wouldn't hurt to throw in, what would you do for anti-inflammatory stuff systemically? He could take that sort of preventive too.
Well, he could take it internally, the CM gel caps, or he could put the CM cream on his
back. In his upper back, in between his shoulder blades, absolutely. And the CM Plus capsules, he could take one of those 3 times a day. It'd be, or I'd take 3 twice a day. That would be 2 bottles a month. And then give us a call every couple of weeks because, what would you throw in to maximize his ability to absorb and utilize calcium? This time of year, what would you add?
To absorb calcium?
Yeah.
Well,
go down the alphabet, A, B, C.
Oh, vitamin D3.
Vitamin D3, there you go. In this weather, yep. I'd go ahead, especially in Illinois, I'd go in northern tier states, he needs the vitamin D3, either the spray, 2 spritzes in the morning, 2 spritzes at night, or the capsules, 2 at breakfast or dinner time. That'll give him 20,000 international units, 10,000 international units of vitamin D3. There's lots of D2 in the 90 essential nutrients, but you need to be out in the sun for a half hour or so in your bathing suit to convert that to vitamin D3. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's stay there in Chicago, Illinois, and go to David. You're on with Dr. Wallach.
David, you're on the air.
Thank you, Doctor. I always feel so grateful for all your guidance, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Very kind. How can we help you today?
Got a lady that I have already suggested a couple of things. I just need some more information from you, sir. She's 36 years old, 5'2", 165 pounds. She was diagnosed with ovarian polyps and cysts. She's got irregular menstrual cycles. She's got some constipation. She hasn't been able to get pregnant. I suggested the brain and heart packs, sir, and I'd like to know if there's anything else I can add to it.
Okay, sure. Okay. I'm assuming she does not have high blood pressure, arthritis, heart disease, that kind of stuff, right?
No, none of that, sir.
Okay, so here's a nice young woman here, Charmaine, 36 years old, 5'2", 165, so that makes her maybe 50 to 60 pounds overweight. We need to work on that. And also, she got female problems here. She's infertile, can't get pregnant. She got cysts in the ovaries, polyps, and so forth. What would you do for her?
Well, I would first get her on a gluten-free diet. That would help also lose the weight. And then I would get her on 2 healthy brain and heart packs, and I would give her the Woman's FX and also the Xerafem.
Okay, yeah. The Xerafem is a tablet, very good. Vitamins, minerals to work on these sorts of women's problems. I'd go ahead and give her 2 of those twice a day, be 2 bottles a month of the Xerafem. It's a lot cheaper than a fertility clinic. And then also, I would give her, as Shar says, the Woman's FX. It's a liquid. She needs 2 quarts a month, 1 ounce at breakfast, 1 ounce at dinner time. And then, what would you give her so that her ovaries can make estrogen and progesterone?
The immortalium?
Well, what food would you give her?
What food? Well, I don't know, eggs.
Things that come out of chickens.
Eggs, yeah, eggs.
Okay, yeah, because estrogen and progesterone are made from cholesterol, and so even if she has good genes, which I'm sure she does, her ovaries will require cholesterol, which is found in the eggs, so she could have 3 eggs twice a day, poached with a soft yolk, soft-boiled with soft yolk, soft scrambled butter, not fried, not over easy, not cooked in oils, obviously. And then what would you give her, in addition to all this, for the weight loss piece?
I give her the Rev.
Rev, yes. 1 bottle a month. Give her a dropper full under her tongue 30 minutes for each meal. And we'll get her pregnant together. Stick with us. We'll be back after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here from Longevity 95 Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to New Jersey. And Lynn, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Lynn, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi,
I have a... Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have a nonprofit animal rescue organization, so I'm calling you today about a few different cats. 3 of them have fluid in their abdomen, and we weren't sure if it was liver cirrhosis or FIP. The one did get blood work, so I have the numbers in front of me. I don't know if you need that. So I guess, so that's for 3 of them. 2 of them live in the same house, and another one is here with me.
How old are these cats? Are they all kittens or older cats? Or?
They're between 7 and 10 years old.
Okay, so they're all older cats. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it could be liver cirrhosis can cause this sort of thing. It could be infectious feline peritonitis, IFP. It could be protein deficiency, could be heart disease. And I would look at the food, since you have 3 cats or 2 cats in the same household, the same problem. I would definitely look at it as a food problem here. I would look at the brand of food they're eating, or if the owners are just feeding them chicken livers or something like that without vitamin and mineral supplements. And so these cats will usually weigh, 8, 10 pounds? Are they smaller than that?
Actually, they're on the bigger side. I'm going to say more like 12 to 15. You know what?
Okay.
My adopter and myself, we were feeding cat chow and Friskies canned, and all my guys are on the supplements, and hers are too. But obviously, they just started the last 6 months or so, so they've all been eating the same food. So it could be the food.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's the food. Okay, Charmaine, you're a small animal person.
Yeah.
What would you give, say, a 10, 12-pound cat for a complete supplement program?
I have a scoop of the Arthrodex in their
Have
food.
a scoop of Arthrodex. Okay, how would you get them the EFAs?
I prick them with a pin and squeeze them on their
You
food.
prick the cats with a pin?
Yes. Get right
You
on my...
prick the cats with a pin?
Not the cat, the pill, the soft gel.
You say capsule. Yeah, you didn't say capsule. You said, I'm going to prick the cats with a pin.
No, prick the caps, C-A-P-S.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, so two a day, one at breakfast, one at dinner time, or both at the same time. Go ahead and puncture those soft gel capsules and get the omega-3s. It could be the fish oil ones, the EFA pluses. Cats love that. And that'll give them the omega-3s. And then, of course, as Shar said, a half a scoop of the Arthrodex is the a great animal line multivitamin we have for cats and dogs and other critters, including birds and things and so forth. And wouldn't hurt to, as I say, change cat foods and make sure that it's all animal products, no grains in there. Shar said no gluten, no grains. Make sure we're going to increase the efficiency of absorption as well as we want. A cat is meant to eat things. A dog is like a bear. A dog will eat anything. It'll eat grain. It'll eat bugs. It'll eat meat. It'll eat fruit. Dogs will eat anything like a bear. That's why they've survived so well. But cats are killers. They kill mice and rats and birds and things. They just live on flesh. And so they got to have an all meat or all poultry or all fish or mixed of those 3 things. They can have eggs. They got to be cooked a little bit. They can have eggs mixed in with their food, but they cannot have, especially these older cats with these problems, definitely not cat food that's made out of grain. All right. give us a call. We love what you do. Keep up the great work. And we're very proud of you, especially this time of year. Okay, Doug, how much time we got?
Got about 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay, I'm going to remind everybody, if you need to lose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds or more, contact your Youngevity associate. Ask for the book Epigenetics, Hell's Kitchen, Energy Crisis, and get Rev, R-E-V, and the Keto Caramel Shakes and Bars. Lose weight and keep it off. Doesn't get any better than that. Thank you, everybody. Great questions and testimonies today. Thank you so much, Shar. Super job as usual. Thank you, Doug and Billy. Great job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.